Hey guys, this is Mugatu, and today we are going to try and attack the Twin Combi. It's originally an ASSA 4800, which has 3 finger pins instead of the 5. I found the 2 missing ones thanks to a friend on the Discord, and totally changes the lock. You go from a brown, I think it's a brown belt one, to a black one, and definitely the fingers will mix with the top pins and give a lot more challenge. So lock this back up. Key works fine. And we will start with the top row. And I'll have to go from the finger pins to the top row multiple times, release some tensions. It's definitely another kind of lock once everything is in there. So let's just hope I can keep this in a reasonable amount of time. Gotta set multiple times the last 3 top pins. With the barrels, they always like to act like tapers, and at some point I'll get some binding from the first 3 pins, which is not the case for now. The third one. Six, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4. Second is binding, first. I can't set completely the top row at the beginning. The sidebar will start binding, so I have to address this in a moment. Nice click from the third. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright. 6 again. 4. 3 is good. 2 is good. Right. The fingers will start by binding the at the bottom of the lock. So the 5th and 4th one will bind first, and they really need to be played with a little bit before they finally hit their gate correctly. The 5th one that's a little bit harder to set correctly. It's a straight medium lift, but it's not automatically in its true gate, so and you do have to play around with the other fingers before it binds completely. Gotta be careful with your tension, also vary it from time to time. You tend to crisp and just crank up the tension, and at some point nothing moves. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta release some tension now. I'll have to check the top from time to time also. 5. 6 is good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing on the first. Second, neither. The third is only a pull, no lift, so I don't have to play with it a lot. And now the fifth one is too high set, so I'll have to release some tension. Try to wiggle it back down a little. That click is either the finger that found its true gate, but also some pins dropping. I don't have too many droppers, so I think we're on the right path. Oh, 6. Come on. That felt better. Just check the top row. 6. Little click out of 5. Nothing on 4. 3 is good. Unsure about 2, but any slight overset on the top pins drops a lot of stuff, including the sidebar, so I'd rather go slowly with that one. So I think the fifth one is happy, but I'll only know once the first one starts binding. As long as the first finger doesn't bind, the rear isn't set correctly. And sometimes you need to go there a few times before they finally decide to stick in position. I'm just wiggling under the 3, 4, and 5 position. Click out of 6, nothing on 5. Click out of 4, nothing on 3. Two, 2, 2 is hard to tell. 6, 5, 4, 3. 2 looks good. So let's stick with the fingers. Number 3 wasn't in the correct orientation. Not sure about the third one. I need to pull it. Little click here, little click there. Possibly still a top pin that's not quite set. Well, now the first one is starting to bind, so we are getting there. But the fourth finger is a little bit stiffer than it should. I think I dropped stuff. Oh, it was so close. Yeah. Even the third. Fifth, fourth. Yeah, I think we dropped the sidebar. Well, that lock's not the black belt for nothing. You just keep exchanging the tension. You need to drop some tension to move a finger pin around, but once you do that, some barrels drop just a little bit in the counter milling and they prevent the finger pin from setting correctly. So the second finger pin is stiff. It's a high set, so it's kind of hard to keep track where it goes. I can't feel the second finger pin, so I'm not sure it's lifted, but is it in the right orientation? I hope so. I'm just a little bit mad because we were really close just before I dropped the top row. Getting this thing picked in one short sequence is satisfying, but also a good task. There we go. Well, not my best time, but definitely acceptable. Try to keep this in frame, and let me show you what the fun is inside. Try to rearrange the camera so. All right. Torque screw holding the snowman core inside. And here we'll just lock this back up before anything bad happens. Two smaller torque screws. there is an orientation for this rear plate, and you do not want to mess it up, because if you insert it in the padlock, put the screw, close the shackle, and it's in the wrong side, you won't be able to turn or unlock your padlock. You are going to have a bad time. Sidebar is this way, I'll go the other side. So we have here the 6 pins, the sidebar, and you can already see the orientation and the depth required. So center, the first one is centered and with lift. Second, you have to push and lift. Third, you only need to pull. Well, only need is a small word. Fourth, you need to push and lift. And the fifth one is like a medium lift centered. So it's pretty hard to know when it's exactly centered. And the fourth one comes into in the way. And as you can see, the sidebar will have little serrations. Put that back. That will match with the fingers. You can see a few serration in the middle of the true gates. So let me get the springs out. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. Let me dump the key pins. Alright, and we'll get the drivers first and then the fingers. The usual barrels from ASSA in balanced stacks. So nothing too special about the body itself. You have the groove for the sidebar, the 6 holes, 6 chambers. And now for the fingers. Put them on top, yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all have tiny springs to go with that. Just so one fly away. And as you can see here, we have good old counter milling on both sides of the plug. The keyway is not so bad. I mean, it's pretty straightforward for the barrels. You have a tiny space for the fingers to maneuver the fingers, and I've been using this it's a Huck dimple flag that I've filed on quite a bit. I use it for a lot of locks now. And we have the hole for the sidebar. I'll give you a close-up on this. And as you can see, we have serrations on those fingers, so they can be quite stubborn. If you apply heavy tension and you try to rotate them at the same time, you're working against yourself. So you have to release tension, but just enough so that the barrels won't drop down. So it's a very nice game of ping pong. Very cool blocks. And I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.